Good morning. Morning. My topic this morning is unusual for me. I'm talking about being a spiritual warrior. I usually don't like to even say the word war, but for those of us, and I think this probably includes everybody who are desirous of having spiritual healing, I think it behooves us to know a couple of things. And one of them is that our spiritual healing has nothing to do with God. And what I mean by that is it has to do with the consciousness of the individual, because God is already doing everything God is going to do 24/7, 365, 2014, yada, 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 on and on and on. God is already doing God's part. So this is about us doing our part. Historically, there was little recorded healing before the presence of the master teacher, Jesus. Now, Buddha and his disciples, I think, had the secret of healing. That one has to bring ourselves into an awareness of oneness with God. That's the consciousness. I have to get my consciousness to that place where I know I am one with God. I used to be friendly with this woman. She was a practitioner at the first church I was at many years ago, and she would always say, "Dear, God is closer to us than red is to the rose." And she meant it. It came from such a deep place within her that I would go, yeah, that's right. That God manifests itself, himself, herself as the consciousness of each and every one of us individually. And so maybe we call that the Christ consciousness. Abraham had such an anointing on him of the presence of God that he found the Jewish nation. And Moses had such an anointing on him that he was enlightened when he went up on the mountain, and was then able to lead the Jewish people out of slavery. Moses attained some God realization. Moses attained Christ consciousness and could lead the Hebrew people out of slavery. That's some big consciousness, isn't it? And Jesus, when he attained Christ consciousness, no longer identified himself as the son of Joseph, because now, with this new consciousness, he was the Christ. Right? And so every individual it's our job to lift our consciousness into the fullness of Christ. Especially at this time of year. Easter's coming. Easter's coming, and I don't know about you, but I am feeling the crucifixion like, boy. It's like coming at every angle. Don't give me planets or any of that stuff. It is crucifixion. And I'm telling you, I am already way past the 3 days in the tomb. Okay? That was weeks ago. Way past, right? But I keep saying, I know there is a new life on the other side of this. I know there is a new life on the other side of this. I will be resurrected. I am being resurrected here. So, really, all of the disciples who were so close to Jesus at the time of the crucifixion, they kind of fell short a little bit, because that crucifixion is such a scary idea, isn't it? Like, really, I look at what's going on and I think, I'd like another path. I'd like to choose something else. I'd like to not have these experiences. So all of those disciples, they pretty much abandoned Jesus, right? Because when it gets scary, what do? We regress. We act like we don't know better. We don't practice what we know. Right? And so the thing is that when stuff comes to us, when stuff comes up, it's like, now is when I have to really, really practice. Because God is always being God. It has to do with the state of our individual consciousness. That we have the capacity to raise ourselves up to conscious union with God. Where we become a transparency for the consciousness of God to shine through us. For the good of God to shine, we have to open our consciousness. And you say, well, I don't know how to do that. Yes, you do. You're here. You're here, and you cannot pretend like you don't know. And I understand with the best of them that sometimes I like to pretend like I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But once your consciousness has been expanded and you've invited the light to come in, the light says, here I come. You can't say, no, not now. It's not convenient. Could we pick up again maybe the middle of May after tax time? It's like, no, you invited the light.